Hello, Week to Warriors. Devin here with another great video for you guys. So, today's video is on the topic of self-medication. Someone left a comment for me asking, what are your thoughts on self-medicating with pot and weed and CBD and these sorts of substances? And I really wanted to think about it because I've self-medicated with CBD before and I found it helpful. I've smoked CBD and then felt very relaxed and kind of focused and then done a bunch of work. Other points in time, I felt CBD is more of a distraction. It's the same with weed. At some points in time, I've smoked weed and done some great work. At other points in time, I've smoked weed and it's more of a distraction. In general, I do feel like it is more of a distraction, and I feel like the work that I did on weed and CBD could have been done sober in a relaxed state if I just relaxed myself sober. It wasn't really providing anything unique that I couldn't get without the substance, but I do want to get into the topic of self-medication because it's a fairly deep topic and I think it has a lot of value. So the first thing I want to put out there is that I have two daughters, and it's not relevant that I have daughters, but it's relevant that I've seen two human beings develop. And what's interesting is noticing how they self-medicate, for lack of a better word. I mean, really the first thing that a human being does is self-medicate. The baby's crying and screaming, da, 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 and you give them a bottle and they just start sucking on the bottle and the milk calms them down. I mean, a lot of the time they want the bottle, they're not even hungry, they just want to self-medicate, or they want to suck on a pacifier to self-medicate, they want to suck on a boob to self-medicate. And that's really, that's the state human beings are born into. We're born into a state of constantly self-medicating. The way human beings are. It's like fundamental to our nature. We are creatures that self-medicate from the womb. And that's interesting because I used to think that drug use, addiction, self-medication, these things were like things that we acquired when we came into the world. Like we come in as these innocent, perfect babies, and then we learn all these nasty habits from people. But no, I mean, a baby is the most self-medicating thing on the planet. That's all they do is self-medicate constantly. But it's not a bad thing, because if you look at the definition of self-medication, it's just taking a medicine or drug without the advice of a expert or a physician. So you can kind of argue, is a baby self-medicating? Because I guess the parents are experts on feeding humans, and we're giving the baby the bottle. So it's not quite self-medicating, but like the tendency is there. Like they want the bottle because it makes them feel emotionally stable. The same way a heroin addict wants heroin, the same way an alcoholic wants alcohol, the same way a weed addict wants weed, the same way a nicotine addict wants nicotine. And you see them and they don't get what they want, and it's just like, ah! It's crazy. It's crazy. Like they lose it in a way that like adults just like don't. Like we've lost the ability to truly lose it like that when we don't get what we want to medicate ourselves with. So that's just human beings. It's useful to understand that that is the default experience of a human being. Now moving on. So self-medication. Medication is just drugs, and the definition of a drug is any substance that has a physiological effect on the body when ingested or introduced. So everything is a drug. All things that exist are drugs, by the definition of drugs. So it's not a very useful definition. I think that we should look at other definitions, or not other definitions, but other ways of thinking about things if we want to think about drugs. Like, it's just not helpful because food is a drug. It's not helpful to think about drugs as this separate class, separate from everything else in the world, because it isn't. Not even close. B vitamins are a drug, magnesium's a drug, zinc's a drug, salt's a drug, vitamin D is a drug, sunshine is a drug, hugging your kids is a drug. It's the way it is, man. I didn't make the rules, it's just the definition. So, self-medicating. I guess like hugging your kids is self-medicating. Taking B vitamins is definitely self-medicating. Taking vitamin D is 100% self-medicating. Meditation, definitely self-medicating. And I just think we have to look at things from a different perspective, because just saying, what's your opinion on self-medicating CBD and pot? I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it. People do it. Sometimes it works out for them. Sometimes it doesn't work out for them. Sometimes you self-medicate with pot because you're in pain and it's good. Other times you're self-medicating with pot because you're suffering from pot withdrawal. In that case, it's not that great because you're just kind of like feeding the problem to solve the problem. It's a lot of drug use. It's a lot of self-medication. I think that that's really where the problem comes in. It's not self-medicating with something. It's why are you self-medicating? It's the first question, why? And once we have a why, now we can start saying, okay, well, does this self-medication actually address that why? Let's say I'm smoking weed because I'm upset that my girlfriend's cheating on me. That's not going to help the problem, so it's not functional. Let's say I'm smoking weed because it's like 9 o'clock on a Saturday and I want to watch a movie with my wife. That's less of a problem. I mean, I'm not doing that right now because if I smoke weed, I'm just going to keep on smoking weed. It's the way I am. Just accepted it and learned to deal with it. So I just don't smoke weed now because I just will kind of just keep on smoking weed. I don't know if that's the way it's going to be forever, but it's definitely the way I am right now. And that's mostly just smoking weed to get the craving of smoking weed to go away. It's not helpful. Same with CBD. Like, really any drug has a withdrawal. It has a period of time where the drug is exiting the body, and that sensation of the blood concentration of the drug decreasing is withdrawal. That's just what withdrawal is. It is the sensation of the amount of a drug in our bloodstream decreasing. Once that hits zero, there is no more withdrawal. It's the way it is. So anything you take, ashwagandha, mucuna pruriens, tyrosine, vitamin D, magnesium, calcium, B vitamins, vitamin C, alcohol, Adderall, caffeine, nicotine, hugging your wife, any of it, all these things will have a withdrawal period where the initial physiological effect that the thing had on you diminishes. Phone problems. My phone cut out. So, back to where I was. Yes, withdrawal is simply the period of time where the physiological effect that something had on you and the neurotransmitters it released are diminishing. That is withdrawal. Substances like nicotine, caffeine, but I mean, really, like, let's be real. People get addicted to everything. There are people who are addicted to hugs. They are called clingy people. They are addicted to hugs. There are people who are addicted to eating poop. Seriously, there's a quote from Extreme Hoarders. There's a woman on there who's addicted to eating poop. It's disturbing, but really think about that. You can become addicted to eating poop. She saved her mother's poop in jars, her dead mother, and she would eat it. And she was addicted to it, and she couldn't stop. She's like, I can't stop eating this poop. Really think about that. That's crazy. But is it, though? Reading this book, The Easy Peasy Way to Quit Pornography, pornography being, I'd say, probably the most commonly addicted to drug on the planet right now, but the easy peasy way to quit pornography, they're a great part of the book where they compare all drug addiction basically to drinking bleach. They say, like, get it through your head. Drinking bleach does not fill a hole. It creates a hole. The only, and it's like, it's so accurate, though, because the way it does it, it just shows you how the psychology of a bleach drinking addiction is the same as the psychology of every addiction. The addiction isn't serving you. It's not serving a purpose. It's not helping you love and create as God. So what's the addiction doing? What's the purpose of the addiction? Nothing. Just to fuel the addiction, ultimately. So you're either taking something for a purpose and it's helping you with that purpose, or you're taking something for a purpose and it's not helping you with that purpose. The only way to figure that out is know thyself. So my answer to the question, what do I think about self-medicating with pot and CBD, is know thyself. This is what was written in ancient Greek on the top of the oracle at Delphi, the most famous and revered oracle in all of Greece. Socrates himself went to the oracle at Delphi and saw those words written above his head. Know thyself. If you know yourself and you act in accordance with your self-knowledge, then you'll be great. You'll do well. Your self-medication will help you. If you do not know yourself and you do not act in accordance with that knowledge, or you do not seek self-knowledge, then you will damn yourself, and your self-medication will become a self-created prison. That is my answer. Done.